Yeah.
Who are we talking about first?
I'm 15 minutes away from the ending. I've been
Of the first one?
Of the first one?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I haven't started watching it until last night. I watched 20 minutes of it last night, 30 minutes of it today at my lunch, and then 15 minutes today on my break, and then like another 15 minutes when Jason came over and I was done with all the wrestling stuff because we had an extra hour. But,
You mean the Crow Light?
No,
I'm
the
kidding.
Crow Plus.
No, I know,
the Crow
I know.
Heavy.
I know. I made a fuss with a bunch of people disagreeing with me that if they were ever going to do the Crow now after seeing John Wick, I was like, unfortunately, it should be Keanu Reeves. They're Draven kind of thing.
Oh, it's better. It's better than the Crow.
I know, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that he after seeing that, it's very similar story wise.
The revenge flick that I always think of is Man on Fire with Denzel.
Yeah,
Which
I can see that.
I really didn't like.
I liked it.
John Wick. Did you guys hear that? Keanu Reeves apparently was like getting off a flight, going on the bus.
Yeah.
That the sort of the Bakersfield thing.
Yeah, I
Just
heard
a
about
random
that.
fan. I was like just read off of his phone facts about Bakersfield.
I never started watching it until last night. It's
really-
fucking bad.
It's really good. So I went to the theater and saw the first one just on like on a whim. It was playing late, like on a Tuesday, and I was like, I got time and I'm not tired. I was like, I'll go see this like Keanu flick. I like Keanu, and like I loved it. And then I got done with it, and I'm like, whatever graphic novel or whatever they base this off of, because like,
read the shit.
well, here's the
Is it
thing:
off of something?
the lore is so deep. I figured it had to be, but
No.
it's not.
No, it started with the
It
movie.
started with the movie. Like, and I was like, man, there was just like so much lore.
It's so cool that they have the hotel that
Oh yeah, and the coins
like
system.
everybody in the hotel is like on the same level. Like,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
this is it.
So like you're a nerd
Fun.
out. The second one's awesome too,
Yep.
and like I can't wait for the third one. Like I'm gonna probably go. Like I'm gonna go.
Dude, let's go see the third one together.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
I've
I'll go
never
with you.
watched any of them in theaters.
I'll figure it out.
Erin came home last night. She's like, "What you been doing?" I was like, I watched the first 45 minutes of John Wick." She was like, "I want to watch that with you." So you had saved. I was like, "Yeah, I don't think about it." Like they kill a dog with a hammer in the first 15 minutes. It's like what?
Yeah.
It's pretty.
But go ahead
gnarly.
and say you're probably not going
And
to.
then it's like, I mean, I'm watching on A&E,
But it makes you feel
Just
good
the
at the end.
Richard
jacket.
and all they do on A&E is blurt out the F words. But it's like every time he shoots a guy in the head, like the brains still come out
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
other
it's
side. It's
Curse words, not violence.
like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like that was like when I was,
Poison.
that's like when I was watching the Vietnam documentary on PBS, and they were cursing out the guy saying shit, but they were showing real pictures of
Yeah. Dead people everywhere.
dead Viet Cong and dead Americans. It's like, nah, it's like I think you guys are prioritizing the
Yeah, right.
wrong
Yeah.
part of the censorship.
Have you watched The Dirt yet?
I don't think so.
It's fun. I'm not even a fan. I was never even a fan of those guys for real. But it's a fun watch. Even if you just ignore that it's a biopic kind of, it's fun.
I kind
Like
of try to stay away from shitty movies though.
it's good shitty though. It's like they even poke fun at it kind of even. It's Jeff Tremaine. Like he's the director
I know.
of this shit. So they.
I mean, I
it's
I
not
watched
taken
Jackass
very
4 with all the same people.
Well, yeah,
Most of the same people.
but yeah, but no,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
Well,
what I
everybody
said,
except
most
for
of the same.
Ryan Dunn was the worst at it.
Wow.
Really?
What?
Hey.
Hot take.
R.I.P.
We're live right now.
Yeah,
man.
we are.
You're
Dave
about to
England.
get.
If it only could have
hate
been
crime.
Dave England.
Wow, really?
Dude, Dave England,
Sorry,
he's
brought
the
it up.
best shitter in the business.
No.
Ryan Dunn was the best because he's like the best person because he could actually deal with like being Bam Margera's friend.
Yeah, no
who is
shit.
the worst.
Him and
Totally.
Brandon DiCamillo both.
I disagree.
Yeah, DiCamillo like always got like the
DiCamillo
short
was
end of
great.
the shit.
And he was one of the best ones too
He
in
was
the
the
early
star
days.
of CKY.
Oh, absolutely.
Like
His
can't-
raps and stuff.
I'm a
Yeah.
little disappointed
Ho Chi
you
Minh,
that
she
you
was
would wish
on
death
the chin.
upon someone.
I'm not wishing death upon
Oh,
anybody.
wait,
I know
you do that
every
every
lyric
week.
for that still.
I'm not
me
wishing
too.
death
I could've-
upon
I could've just
anybody.
kept
Yes,
going.
you did. Yes, you did.
I'm
I
just
have-
saying Ryan
I have
Dunn
the
was
VHS,
he was the worst.
Like the original CKY2K.
And then
The
what you say after
documentary
that?
one,
There-
yeah.
Listen,
That's like
I watched
not
Jackass.
cut.
I watched
Like, you can't
Jackass from
get it anymore.
inception.
And every
Till
time I
it's
think
dead.
about getting rid of my VHS,
And there were only
like,
two
I
guys
got
I didn't like, and it was Ryan Dunn
I haven't
and
watched
Dave
it like.
If you ever get rid of those, I still collect VHS.
Right on.
No,
I-
get rid of that.
I gotta.
I'll antagonize you later.
I'll be moving in a couple of years, like probably. So like, I
True
will.
story. I watched
I
Jackass.
should probably just give them to you now because I won't do anything. Like
I watched Jackass from the beginning to the end, and there were only two guys I didn't like, and I kind of liked them anyway. It was Ryan Dunn and Dave. I didn't like Dave England at all.
I mean,
Dave
he's
England
annoying
was
as hell,
the worst.
But he was famous for shitting.
Yeah, he was the
And
shit.
eating
He
his
also
own
had
piss.
he got that terrible joke. played.
Pontius was the best.
Oh no, that was Aaron McGee.
Oh yeah,
That was the pube beard.
yes, that was
the best thing.
Were the pews really necessary?
They were in my
To this day, the hardest I've ever laughed in a theater. Were the pews necessary? Like after he got put in the trunk?
Somebody's got trash. Oh
He
man.
had like fucking Villa Valor shaving his pubes. To,
Yeah.
like,
Dude, I
put in there,
remember you
like,
made me watch that nonsense. That was so
Oh, man.
horrible.
It's the best
I'm
shit
like, man,
ever.
fuck you. You motherfuckers are not my friends any longer.
Phil, you have any more than beers?
It's the funniest
No,
shit.
you can have that one.
Oh,
You
what-
don't.
I thought we had a sponsor.
Well, I thought he was going to bring a six-pack. Otherwise, I'd have brought a six-pack.
Well,
but, you know,
goddamn.
I literally just left the brewery, but
There's some monsters
I
in
didn't
there.
bring anything.
yeah, that,
I had my 2 beers.
then we'll leave that one.
My Twitter.
Because I'm coughing out. We're coming out of the car. This was looking at me like, you okay? I'm like, yeah.
This is pretty great, like working in breaks. I can just like go, I can swing by work real quick,
Right.
like have 2 beers,
Right.
and like it doesn't cost me anything.
Yeah, keep it moving, man. I ain't mad at you, shit. If I could, I would. I'll say this much: Seattle is definitely
He's still here.
spoiled,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it sounds good.
I'm gonna be in that neck of the woods in a couple years. You end up out there.
Look,
We do have a sponsor. It's my
If-
bad. I probably
in the
should
next
have
4
brought
years, I'm gonna be out there a lot. So,
Wow.
you know, until her youngest graduates high school, there's not much to talk about.
That's
So
what
definitely.
we're waiting for. We got Skylar. She's finishing her
one.
sophomore.
With that one,
right.
I'll take it.
there's barely gone from it.
I don't mind.
He
it.
just
I-
trained-
I-
he
I-
just-
No, I'm sure that
Ray
the,
from Trailer Park Boy, dude. Like,
no,
oh,
I'm-
you
I'm
need a
sure
beer,
there's-
bud?
There's
Yeah,
veto in
Dad.
the,
Hands him a fucking empty beer.
Have you seen the
Wanna
new
finish that
animated
one?
trailer?
Yeah. What?
The new animated.
Oh, I
I
can't
haven't
wait.
watched.
I cannot wait. It's coming out on the
So-
31st.
I don't think I watched the last couple seasons because it arguably once their production values went up, the content went down,
I'm still
the
a fan,
quality,
though.
and I still liked it, but I don't think I watched like 7 or 8. But those first couple seasons when it was like actually like a mockumentary,
Oh, it was great.
it was
Were you
one of
guys
the best
talking
shows.
Trailer Park Boys?
oh, okay.
So the last episode of the 13th season was
13?
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
Which
So
was-
I stopped at like 7 or 8.
3 movies, 13 seasons, 5 specials, and then 2 out of the park things. Like it's so, and then the very
the clips from that show are outrageous.
Oh, it's great. But so the very last episode of the very last season, they go to jail and they're all in this jail cell together and they eat these mushrooms and turn into cartoon characters.
Oh, nice.
And then so now the new series is like starting from there because Leahy in real life passed away.
Yeah. That's a good way to do it.
So now they've got sound bits from 13 seasons and they can pretty much bring anything they want to life. So
Eric, what's your last name?
Wilhelm.
Wilhelm?
Is it okay if we pronounce it Wilhelm?
That's fine.
You look kind of Aryan.
About to say, man, well, fuck it. I guess we're gonna have to, haze this motherfucker at some point. Let's get it over
Hero.
with. Sorry.
No worries.
Right. I'm never working with these motherfuckers again.
Oh, those band from Ringside motherfuckers are coming. Consider me on point.
Yeah, right.
Dan
I'll
from the
take their
studio.
money. That's it.
and from the studio.
I'm on point.
Lucky I'm letting these motherfuckers in.
You're doing New Japan.
Yes.
So when I throw it to you, don't be like, I don't remember.
I haven't done that in like at least 3 months.
No, I don't think that's true. I think you've
No,
done it since then.
No, he takes a pause. And it's a dramatic pause, and I catch myself too. I kind of look at him like,
Yeah, no, it's
I don't know if it's dramatic. I mean, it's dramatic for me.
yeah, right? Because I'm like,
I'm probably just collecting my thoughts because like I used to come in way drunk
stop.
and I couldn't remember like
Stop.
legit. But I haven't done it since the beginning of the year. I've been tapering my
That's not
boobs.
the Zach guy.
I know I'm down 25 pounds.
Hell yeah.
Shut up, for real.
Really?
Yeah, no, I was so fat you can't even notice.
Well, you're wearing like 12 layers and
That's true.
it's 70 degrees
That's
outside.
true.
So
Yeah,
the beard's getting thick.
yeah, like 265 to 240.
Hell yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, you hear everything in your
I can hear it. I got a little bit of
Echo coming from me, I think.
yeah, like a little bit of.
I sound great,
It's not even reverb.
You look great.
man. Thank you.
Dude.
Choo. That's
New
better.
hair?
Yeah, that's better.
Don't care.
Since
Okay.
I don't care.
I haven't known you guys in a while, so stuff like
Yeah, well,
obviously
into
the-
Come on, man.
I
Come
got
on.
3 times.
Free count, I got that. Intro
Apologize.
is just like
Realest motherfucker.
It's
Sure.
9 to 5, time to feel alive.
Yeah.
Dance from ringside. And then I do the intro, and then you do the instrumental part.
so. Then other than that, it's just the outro, right?
Yeah. And then I might say right here, Rich, and
Yeah,
that's where you would insert the little interstitial.
You got everything good on as far as the return and all that.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
and all
We are good to go.
that. And then
Everything's great.
We'll be done at 8:05. If that's cool with you.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Strike up the band, Johnny.
Tonight's on the Band from Ringside podcast, the women main event WrestleMania. Wait, what does that say?
You telling me not to forget the second thing?
Right
Right off the fucking lead off.
He can't even read his whole band right.
All right, I'm ready again. Let's try it again. Tonight's on the Band from Ringside podcast, the women main event WrestleMania, the finals of the New Japan Cup. Kofi Mania is apparently on. That and a whole bunch more tonight on the 100th episode of the Band from Ringside podcast.
Nice, baby. It's it.
Hell yeah.
The 100 part is the most important part.
Ditch that 9 to 5. It's time to feel alive. Hello, Marks, and welcome to the Band from Ringside podcast. As always, I am your host, Bill Vagey, a.k.a. Amazing Face.
We coming out
And to my
swinging, baby.
And to my right, we have Two Beer Zach Bowman. What's going on, Two Beer Zach?
Actually, I just got a call from New York. It's just 2 now.
The number 2.
And to his right, we have Jason Cornelius Bell. What's going on, JCB?
Allow us to pull down the good book of Band from Ringside, volume 100, chapter 3, verse 14. And the good smart saith, hashtag Buddha Heals. It is all good, baby. Shout out to my girl, Becky Balboa. Thank you for a great time in Seattle this week. Lots to talk about. I'll keep it moving. Shout out to Ben for the rock caricature. He knows I'm a huge rock fan. I'm sure at some point this will come into play, but shout out to my boy Ben. Thanks for the rock.
And to his right, we have Murray, the Murray Man. Murray, what's going on, Murray?
Oh, same as usual. But hey,
Yes,
I
please tell me.
gotta go quick fire though.
Yeah, just go
There's
ahead
a
and
lot
tell
of
me.
things.
I'm listening
One.
to it.
It's exciting. We're live on social media.
Check
For sure.
for the
Facebook,
100.
Twitter, Facebook, again, YouTube, everywhere, Instagram,
Instagram.
everywhere.
You got
Also, t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com.
Check.
Go buy
Also,
the t-shirts. Our t-shirts are dope. I'm wearing one right
Right
now.
now. See,
Big
everybody-
fan style.
Everybody wonders what we whisper. That's what we're whispering.
Yeah.
Big style.
now, and if you like that shirt or any of the other ones, and you want to get one up close and personal, this Sunday night
My boy.
in Belleville, Illinois,
Tell him.
at the Belleville, I believe it's the Fairgrounds.
Yeah, the Bell
Glory Pro presents Aces High, featuring the Lucha Brothers and all of the amazing
Phoenix.
Glory Pro wrestlers.
Bestest in the world.
And yeah, so we'll have the booth there.
Kurt Stallion.
We are, Kurt Stallion, and yeah, we'll be sponsoring the event, so we'll have the booth there, and you might be able to work some free stuff out of it, possibly.
You might be able to work some free stuff out of Murray, the
Subscribe
Murray
to
Man,
the YouTube.
Murray. Subscribe to the YouTube. You can also follow us on social media at BFR Pod at Instagram and Twitter. Friends of BFR on Facebook, Band from Ringside Podcast, at BFR Murr with 2 R's, at BFR JCB, at BFR Zach with an H, at BFR Bill. We are coming at you from the exquisite Shock City Studios in rainy St. Louis, Missouri tonight with
Springtime rain.
Rich Harris, our favorite. I mean, sometimes we get Bushway and he's a real bummer. And sometimes we get Sam and he sucks terribly. I mean, Sam's the worst. But when we get Rich, we know that we're getting the best of the best, right?
Richard Richards in the house.
And we got Eric Wilhelm.
We're gonna call him. I'm gonna just go with Easy E for the moment until we
Okay,
can
we'll
work
call
with
him. We
him.
can call him Easy.
No, you
E-Dub,
know, no, you said what? What did you want to call him?
Entertainment Weekly.
Whatever.
We got everybody. We got everybody in the studio tonight. Before we get too far into it, we're going to talk about that day one ish sponsor, that Soul Taco. If you've never had Soul Taco, that delicious Korean Mexican fusion food, you guys need to treat yourself and go get some. They got 2 food trucks driving around St. Louis. They got a place in the U City Loop, a place in Chesterfield, Missouri, Columbia, Missouri, Chicago, Illinois, Champaign, Illinois. They got another place in Chicago, Illinois. It is the best. They got the Korean Mexican fusion. They got tacos, burritos, quesadillas, kimchi fries, anything that you guys could want, they will have at Soul Taco. So go get yourself some. Tell them the band from Ringside sent you. They're a friend of the show. They're a sponsor of the show. Also, we got Schlafly beer. And you guys know what Schlafly beer is. Go get yourself some Schlafly beer.
White
So
wine.
without further ado, let's get to our 3 counts. What you got, JCB?
Having a Tuesday night off is very unusual for me, as I am in the service industry, and that is one of my days off. So when I got the text saying I had the day off, I was thinking, okay, we're going to see how Kofi is going to weasel. I shouldn't say weasel his way in, poor choice of words, but backdoor his way in to the WrestleMania spot.
That's another poor choice.
And now he back there with let's call it for what it is. Should have won last week. Anyway, so when I see Charlotte and Asuka in the ring, my eyes kind of squint a little bit, mostly because of the smoke. But then they say this is a WWE SmackDown Women's title match? Question mark? What the
Now,
shit?
once they said that it was a SmackDown Women's title match,
Oh shit.
you knew, right?
Oh shit.
I mean, we were talking on Twitter. I could tell that you were.
Oh shit.
You said, "I'm glad I had tonight off because Twitter's about to pop off." So what?
So
what happened? Tell the people what happened.
long story short, the Queen once again reigns over the SmackDown Kingdom, whatever you want to call it, the 8th reign. She taps Asuka out again. This is my reaction when it first happened because I was just kind of stunned. I kind of knew this was going to happen. I just didn't think this was going to happen this way. So my knee-jerk reaction, I feel bad for Asuka because Asuka was basically this play smart to get us from point A to point B, which was my knee-jerk reaction when she won the title back in January.
So Charlotte wins the title from Asuka on SmackDown.
SmackDown. So now we have a main event already for WrestleMania already set in place, but now we've added a second title into this mix. So now the question is, where do we go from here? Is this a unification match? Is this just for Ronda's title? Is Charlotte's title on the line? Whatever the case may be. So my knee-jerk reaction is this. This is going to be whoever pins whoever wins the title. If, let's say, for the sake of example, Ronda pins Charlotte, Ronda is the double champion. If Charlotte pins Becky, Becky loses, obviously, and Charlotte retains. She just retains her title.
Hold on. We should add in that for anybody that hasn't been paying attention wholeheartedly, that the main event at WrestleMania, they announced this week that the main event at WrestleMania is going to be Ronda Rousey versus Becky versus Charlotte.
Woo.
And it was going to be for the Raw title that Ronda Rousey now holds. This week, Charlotte won the title, and now there's 2 titles going in. So the triple threat at WrestleMania, there's 2 championships going in. Charlotte with the SmackDown title, Ronda with the Raw title, and Becky Lynch with no title. Sorry. Wanted to recap.
Clarify this nonsense. Okay, that's what I'm saying. That I guess that's where ultimately this is where I'm going with this, and I'll pass the mic to the left. This has been overbooked coming into this. Now you really overbooked it because nobody knows what the fuck is going on going home to the go home show. We're watching it anyway. So why not just have a little clarification? Where are we going with it?
Your thoughts, Stuber?
We mentioned the WWE doesn't do long-term booking, and when they do long-term booking, they overbook it because they feel like they have to do a different angle every single week, which we'll get to in the third count. But so as soon as they announced this, we had Asuka versus Charlotte for the title. You knew what was happening because Asuka doesn't have a match, and we're like less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, so of course Charlotte's going over. This doesn't have anything to do with Asuka. It's not an indictment for Asuka. Like, people are like all over the place. Like, well, it really has more to do with Charlotte than it does with Asuka.
It's how Vince looks at Asuka.
No,
That's part of it too.
completely disagree.
I mean, that's part of it, but they are leading to the curtain call. 4 horsewomen, all 4 hold the title at the end of the show. Becky's gonna have the Raw title because she's gonna fucking tap out Ronda. Charlotte's gonna retain her SmackDown title, and Bayley and Sasha are gonna retain their tag team titles, and it's gonna be the 4 horsewomen with the 4 women's titles reigning supreme at the end of WrestleMania. That's my prediction.
So you think that Becky wins off of Ronda, but Charlotte somehow keeps her title?
Yes, because until Tuesday, I thought that Charlotte was there to take the pin so that Ronda could stay undefeated, so that she could take her break and she could come back and say, "Nobody ever beat me," whatever. But now I just feel like that's what is being set up. It just seems very obvious.
Merman.
It may be a far fetch. I kind of agree with Zach as far as like I do think that they're gonna do the 4 horsewomen thing and they're gonna put all the gold on them at some point. But there has still been a lot of talk lingering about everything kind of the split would be gone. So Raw and SmackDown would jump back and forth with the roster. Maybe there's a unification thing going on with the women's titles. And like I said, it's probably kind of far fetched, but I don't know how they would do it at Mania. Who would win what? I believe Becky will win, but at some point, Becky, Charlotte go at it.
What do you think is more probable, that it's a unification match at WrestleMania, or that they're going to split up the title somehow?
I mean, I don't think it'll be I don't think that if they do a unification, it'll be at Mania. I think that'll be a little bit further down the road. I think it'll start there. I don't get why putting it on Charlotte makes any sense. Maybe it will at Mania. I'm not counting that out.
After Mania, like, who do you have to face any of those ladies?
Thank you.
It's Asuka.
Right.
It's Asuka and nobody else.
Well, even if you wanted to go with Asuka, but then you wasted an opportunity to set up another number 1 contender. Asuka's going to be waiting in the wings regardless.
She gets a rematch.
Yeah.
She gets her rematch.
Even though she's not supposed to.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, that's why I'm saying rematch in quotes.
Yeah,
but I mean, like, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Naomi, Carmella, basically are all just going to be resolved to the women's battle royal, if there is a women's battle royal. Hell, if there. Okay.
So
Go ahead.
would you rather have Asuka face one of those women at WrestleMania than Asuka give it up to make the main event?
No,
I'm fine with that.
No, I'm not fine with happened.
I'm totally
No,
cool with what happened.
man, that is
in
horrible.
fact, it'll make Asuka more money down the road. Yeah, all they have to do.
Okay, y'all keep playing and think you can just start and stop. Sooner or later, people are going to lose interest.
Yeah.
I just feel like people have already lost interest, so that's why I think it doesn't matter. I love Asuka, but nobody cared about this title reign.
They can reheat anything at any time if they want to. All it takes is a couple weeks of booking, like they've done with Kofi Kingston. Like, they can reheat Asuka at any time for SummerSlam. They can. You would rather have. There's already 14 matches on the card. There's already 14 matches on the card or some shit like that. So you would rather them add another match with Asuka versus Mandy Rose or some shit just so she can retain her title than to make the main event as big as it can be at WrestleMania, the main event. Like, Vince books the poster. Vince wants that poster to be Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, with 2 of them holding belts, and Becky to come out of it holding both belts. That's what I think is going to happen.
So you think next week they'll make it some kind of
I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be a unification.
I mean, I think it will be too. I guess I didn't think it would be at Mania.
I'm waiting.
I can't believe the horse shit that just came out your mouth. Number 1, You can't just start and stop and reheat anybody. See Mojo Riley, see Rusev, see Nakamura, go down the line. Number two, if you want to come up with somebody that you didn't name, if you don't shut your ass up, if you don't want to bring out with somebody you just named, Nikki Cross has been floating out there somewhere with EC3, with Lacey Evans, and all these other jokers that you brought up from NXT that they ain't got no business. You ain't got no business bringing them up first to begin with. Now you don't have a clue to what to do with them. You got Asuka running around here holding the title like a little babysitter for 2 months, and then all of a sudden on a random ass SmackDown, boom, she costs up the title. Does any of this make sense? Does any of this make fucking sense?
Yeah,
No, it really fucking doesn't. Because you already had the heat on Charlotte to begin with. All you had to do was stay the course. Now all of a sudden you got to play with this poster and all this other shit. Man, fuck that. You got the match in hand. Why fuck it up? Oh my God!
This is always booked the poster.
You got the 3 best women in the division in one match. What else do you want?
You don't think after WrestleMania, and like, listen, I'm appealing to you here. Do you think after WrestleMania, if they decide to reheat Asuka and she goes on a super tear to make her face Charlotte at SummerSlam, you don't think they could do that? You think she's done? Are you that big of a mark?
No, she's not done. But
are you that big of a
she
mark?
She is not done, but this is some serious fucking damage.
Man,
okay? Yes, it is.
This is not the worst thing that happened to Asuka, though.
Yes, it is. This is some damage.
It's not
done.
serious damage.
Okay.
Damage.
I agree with your sentiment entirely. Like, everything else you said, I am like 100% behind. Like, I'm like-minded about that. I just don't. I think that the pros outweigh the cons. I can see
they're in WrestleMania mode.
Bill's not being a WWE apologist. in this
They're in WrestleMania mode. That's the excuse for Asuka not having her own match at WrestleMania. We're in WrestleMania mode, so all bets are off. Fuck everybody else.
I'd rather bet than because there's going to be a lot of terrible matches on this card. Like, I'm looking forward to going to Joey's and hanging out with you. There's like 4 matches that I want to see. With
Everybody,
for sure.
Everybody on this panel makes me look like, except for Murray, makes me look like a WWE apologist because I'm just a pragmatist. Like, you guys just shit on everything.
I don't. No, I don't. No, I don't shit on everything.
Yeah, you just,
no, I don't.
Oh,
no,
you
I don't.
especially.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I call it the way I see it. I call it the way I see it. When WWE does some shit right, 2 months ago when they were doing the shit right, did I not say they were doing the shit right? Yes, I did. So now 2 months later, when you've overbooked it and nobody knows what the fuck the rules are, I'm calling that too. Shut it. Yeah, see, Rock just laid the SmackDown. God damn it. Yeah, it worked. Motherfucker.
You're like Zach De La Rocha if instead of reading marks, he just watched WCW videos. Like, why are you screaming at?
I was trying to be cool, and then all of a sudden you're like, well, I'm waiting. Well, I'm waiting. Well, I'm waiting.
You're
like Bane in your
You're
neck.
screaming at me like it's just fine. Like, you think they're burying Asuka? They're not burying Asuka.
I did not say
All
they were
they're
burying
doing is-
Asuka. What
all-
did I say? Serious damage done.
All they're doing is making the women's division as big as it can be.
With 3 women.
Yeah, I know. So what the?
So what's going to happen after WrestleMania season?
Let me.
We're going to have these 3 women pass them 2 titles?
Let me ask you this: like, when's the next time?
No, one of them's leaving.
When's the next time that the women's division is going to be hot enough to headline a WrestleMania? That says nothing about the women's division, but it really like when's the next time
The
it's going to
next
be
time
hot?
Ronda Rousey decides to come back.
Yeah, no shit.
I don't.
Oh my God, Godfrey, I bet we've been screaming about 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen.
Unless Becky can hold
I ain't been
on to
screaming
the
about that.
crowd until next WrestleMania.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. It could easily happen again. You just gotta get the right place at the right time. This was all perfect fucking storm.
It's
Let's
hot.
not act like Vince had this as a master plan.
Rich, that's going to do it for our 3 counts. All right, what you got, Zach?
2 count. We got New Japan Cup semifinals and finals. So my bracket wasn't like totally busted, although it got busted pretty early whenever Ibushi got tapped out. So that was the main thing. But we had Tanahashi versus Zack Sabre Jr. in a pretty fantastic match. Tanahashi can just, we're gonna say, I mean, he's the best, probably the best working wrestler today. Super smart, can work any style. Dude's fucking approaching like his golden years, but
He's close to
he can,
his
he
50s.
can,
It's
he can
getting
work
out of
with
hand.
anybody.
Almost as old as Days.
I look better though.
I don't know about that.
I know, you put on a Tanahashi wig. I mean, shit.
Easy, big fella. This
But,
guy say drink beer.
So we had Tanahashi going over in a really cool finishing sequence where he pinned Zack Sabre with Zack Sabre's own pinning move. I don't remember what it's called. Sorry, that maybe 2 years ago I could have, but not right now. But it's the one where he does the bridge.
Bridge, yeah,
Yeah.
holds his hands.
And so that was really cool. That got over. And then we had Colt Cabana and Sonata, which is actually what I had as a semifinal, which is very surprising that Colt Cabana went all the way to the semifinals. Sonata is in his hometown, which is cool. And this is New Japan. It's not WWE, so you don't.
No, you meant Okada versus Sonata is the other semifinal.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okada versus. No, Okada versus Sonata is the.
It was Okada versus Sonata and Tanahashi versus. No, I'm sorry. It was. Sorry, Ishii versus Okada.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I might go
Tanahashi
week behind.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Ishii and Okada, which was a fucking amazing match. Put those two things together in your mind. Okada, which is the hottest, quote unquote, young buck, I will say. Like, this dude is, in my head, number 2 working wrestler in the world right now versus Ishii, who puts on a fucking great match with anybody, hard hitting. And if you look
Very
at this
underrated.
match, look at this fucking match. Like, go back and watch it. If you first time you've seen it, great. Treat yourself, right? Treat yourself. If it's the second time you watch it, look how what seemingly hard hitting this match and dramatic it was, and notice how they did not much. And I was on the edge of my seat the whole time. There's some fucking chops. There's some fucking dangerous looking headbutts that are not actually dangerous at all. There's the biggest fucking move in this match was a twisting tombstone pile driver. You know what I mean? There's lariats, and the whole time I'm on the edge of my seat. This thing was fucking top notch. And then we had Tanahashi versus Sonata. So, hometown boy, Tanahashi can actually, he wasn't playing heel, but he's wearing black tights. Sonata, you knew he was going to be over because it's not WWE, he's not jobbing in his
You kind of
hometown.
had a Rock versus Hogan feel in this, though, because Tanahashi's very rarely a heel. And
No, I won't go that
everybody
far.
was pro Sonata. in the
Tanahashi
crowd.
came out and was kind of heelish. Maybe not heel.
Yeah,
I'll
not-
say
not heel,
heelish.
but definitely playing up. He just knows how to work the crowd.
Yeah.
He's
They
best.
wanted to root for Sonata anyway, and he gave them the reason.
Can we talk about the Sonata Okada finale, though?
Yeah.
I mean,
best
it
match
was-
Sonata's ever been in.
Yeah, hands down.
Yes, it was unbelievable.
And
The
I'll just
last
say it
10
from
minutes are as good as any
Hey,
10 minutes I've ever seen.
and I'll put
in
that
any
on
match
anything.
That's not Okada Omega.
All
this just proves to me, and you finish it from this point. Sonata is the next one coming. I don't know when this is going to happen, but he's the next one coming. Maybe a year from now, him and Jay White or Ibushi or this next group of, I won't say young lions, but the next generation of New Japan stars will be against the Mount Rushmore, the big four.
In the 3 years that I've been watching New Japan, you can tell that Gato knows how to book a tournament. He knows how to make shit exciting, and also the G1, which is the round robin, which is also a tournament. But he knows how to book it to have certain storylines mesh with each other as they go through, and to also have one guy come out of it and become kind of a star in his own right out of nowhere, which in this, not out of nowhere. I mean,
No. I
even
wasn't even going to say
Sonata-
that. I was just going to say that to me, Sonata is it's not just one winner. To me, there's 2 or 3 winners.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Lance Archer comes out looking way better than he did coming in. Colt Cabana, who I didn't see a lot of books, I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of see the hype around it. I'm not saying that, okay, he's Yano to me in the sense that,
Yeah.
okay, I can kind of get to his humor. Not a big fan of it, but whatever. What's your boy? Umino, Shota Umino.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the match against Tanahashi alone was a rub in itself. Then he had a good ass match with him.
And if you watch the matches beforehand, which Bill doesn't,
Stop.
as he said they're the shitty parts, quote unquote.
What do you mean, the tag matches?
Yeah, the tech
Yeah, I don't
matches.
watch.
So what's funny
How much
is
time? I don't have that much time, guys.
if you could watch a
understand
Raw,
that.
you could watch New Japan.
That's where the flip side is. I don't
It was like
watch
2.5,
Raw. I watch Raw on
2:45.
YouTube, and like it takes me 20 minutes, and I get everything I need to, and I can spend that 3 hours watching the tag matches in New Japan, where I can see Shota Umino. And in 2 years, when Shota Umino is a fucking superstar, you're gonna wish that you would have watched Shota
Thank
Umino
you.
in
Thank
the tag
you.
matches,
Thank
because
you.
this dude is like, he's gonna be like Naito like level in just a couple years. Like he's a fucking superstar in the making.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Anyway, so, he's like, yeah, that's fine.
I watch Raw when I'm not doing anything else, though. Like I'm
But that's when I watch New Japan. I'm not doing anything else. I'm doing the dishes. I got it up on my windowsill on the iPad. I'm doing laundry. I just carry it down with me, like in the basement. Like that's just how I do it.
Dedication, damn it. Okay, that's dedication.
But anyway, Okada.
I
goes
watch
over.
Raw for him.
Okay, dedication.
Literally taking a bullet for me. So, anyway, Okada goes over. I think that's the only thing I've tweeted in like a while, which was Okada goes over, and I can barely maintain wrist control. And that's another thing. You saw Ishii maintaining wrist control on Okada. Like those are the little things. Like you talk about
Yeah,
New
you don't see
Japan.
that.
Like
Wrist control.
it's storytelling in ring. Like those are the things that you miss out if you don't watch like the lower card matches. Those things you miss out. You don't have to watch. You don't have to stay over and watch the exposition. Although please do, because Zack Saber's a hell of a promo.
Oh my god, it's so fucking funny.
Zack Saber's my dude.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. Okay, so let's move it forward. So G1 Supercard, obviously on that Saturday, we got now Jay White, Okada. We're probably not going to do a pick for the Supercard, is my guess. So let's just pass it around. Who you got?
Here, I'll roll down the card real quick.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Honor Rumble. We got Will Ospreay versus Jeff Cobb, which is going to be a fucking great match.
Nice.
Roosh versus Dalton Castle, which
Nice.
has potential, but Dalton's been a mess physically lately. Maya Iwatani versus Kelly Klein. I hope it's better than the last match because Iwatani is fucking great. Bully Ray versus to be announced in a New York City street fight, which was going to be Flip Gordon, but Flip Gordon's knee locked up.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping it's Ishii. Like, I'd say it's Ishii or Suzuki. Like,
Suzuki would be funny to watch because Bully would have to literally get bullied by
he'd get
Suzuki.
I would actually finally watch everything you guys are talking about that I never watched. If that happens, Suzuki's my favorite.
Ishimori versus Dragon Lee versus Bandito, which I mean, like, my dick's at half staff already. Gorillas of Destiny, which is Tamatanga and Tangaloa versus Villain Enterprises, which is PCO and Brody King versus Los Ingobernables de Japón, which is Evil and Sonata versus the Briscoe brothers, Jay and Mark Briscoe. And that's a IWGP versus ROH heavyweight. And whoever wins takes all the belts. Then we got Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tanahashi, which is a repeat from the New Japan, which is for the British Heavyweight Championship. We got Naito versus Ibushi, which, fuck, we just saw that. And it scared the fuck out of me.
And it's
Jay
for the
Liesel versus
title.
Marty Scurll versus Matt Taven, which has to follow that match. And it's a ladder match.
Oh, it's going to be just fine.
Yeah.
I'm not even worried about that.
And then we got White versus Okada. So,
You know what? This is why NXT TakeOver is perfect, because NXT TakeOver is only 5 matches.
yeah, this is 2 promotions, though. So.
It just sounds like so much, though. Like if you had to sit there and
I know
watch
you
it,
just did not say that.
it just sounds like so much.
And they're not.
Way down the WrestleMania card.
There's people not even on this card. Like,
Jeez.
there's people that need to be on this card that are not because it's 2 promotions.
Of course, there's always going to be wrestlers that are left out of cards. Like that. Like my problem with WrestleMania, like WrestleMania should be 2 nights. They should have WrestleMania night 1 on Friday, TakeOver on night 2, and then WrestleMania on night 3, so everything gets to breathe. Like, of course, WrestleMania is too long. Like,
Okay, that's what I wanted to hear.
You're looking at me like I'm, I don't know, Johnny McMahon or something. Like,
Well,
I'm not here
no.
trying to sell you why WWE is so good.
I just wanted to hear the confession. You confess.
It's
We
not a
saw-
confession.
Listen, we saw this with Wrestle Kingdom this year. Wrestle Kingdom suffered, and it was a fantastic card. Those matches were rushed.
They all
Yeah, I agree.
suffer.
And
They
it's
all suffer except for TakeOver.
Yeah.
TakeOver is the only perfect pay-per-view every single time because it's
5
just
matches.
5 matches and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that's about as long as I ever need to watch wrestling.
It's good.
I mean, it's right. That'll do it for our 2 count. right. 3 count's going to be heading into WrestleMania. We have Kofi Kingston versus Daniel Bryan, which I said was going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. Of course it's going to happen. They just took the wrong way about to do it.
But say Kofi's name.
This is on this week's SmackDown. Vince came out to Kofi and the New Day and said, I'm going, instead of having Kofi go through a gauntlet match, I want New Day to go through a gauntlet match.
Another gauntlet match.
You remember like 6 months ago when Seth Rollins went through a gauntlet match on Raw? We were like, oh, this is the best Raw in the last 2 years, and now they've had 3 gauntlet matches in the last month and a half. But anyway,
they liked it. Do it again.
Right. Exactly. New Day went through the Good Brothers, Rusev and Nakamura, the Bar. The Usos came out and forfeited.
That was my favorite part.
It was, yeah, I loved it.
Jason hit me up on Twitter and said, what's the kayfabe reason why the Usos would ever fight them on a gauntlet match? And I said just competitive pride would be the only reason. And then the New Day beat Daniel
But I had
Bryan.
a little tear in my eye. Like, that actually got me invested. Like, whenever the Usos came out and, because I thought back to that Hell in a Cell, and I thought back to their fucking feud, and I'm like, I was like, that was just a cool way to do it.
That's their best rivalries too. In this whole time, I think personally,
yeah.
they've had
now
the
they
longest
can
rivalry.
continue the rivalry.
Yep.
But it does seem like Kofi is going towards WrestleMania versus Daniel Bryan. So, Jason Bell, you said several weeks ago that if Kofi won the title against Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania, you still wouldn't be happy. Do you still feel that way?
It's kind of hollow, I guess. Just for me personally, I need to see where it goes. Don't get me wrong. The knee-jerk reaction is always, as a black man, all jokes aside, I want to see the black man be a world heavyweight champion. I would be lying if I said otherwise.
Sure.
As I'm surrounded with a white guys.
I mean, that's why I voted for Trump.
Oh my God. We just lost all of
It's a joke.
It's done.
It's a joke.
I got to see where it ends. You know what I'm saying? If this is going to be like an AJ Styles run when it's a bunch of nonsense and forgettable matches, then I want to have a problem with it. If it's going to be
Wait a minute. AJ Styles held the belt for 400 days or something. Or
dude,
200
seriously, we're going to do this?
How many of those were infantry?
Thank you.
I will.
Shit. I mean, that
against your own
that makes
boy KO. He had and I'll be nice.
He beat him 3 times.
Lackluster
he beat him
You
3
can't-
times. Though.
A lot of dick kicks.
Okay,
Yeah, it was.
different feud, same lackluster result.
Team.
So
So really, if Kobe held it for 200 days, that's still
Okay, no. Now we're talking.
That's how long AJ held it for.
Now we're talking. It's a good start. As long as we're not doing some goofy shit along the way, we should be okay. I can't depend on WWE not do some
they
ignorant
got
shit
a
on
bunch
the way.
of 5 stars along the way.
No,
here,
you can give me 3.5, but just make it make sense. If it's going to be sports entertainment, then it has to be entertaining.
Exactly.
This has been entertaining up to this point.
take on it. You said it's an obvious outcome, and I analogize this like imagine me as the WWE universe, and Vince McMahon is my wife, and I'm clamoring for sex, and I ask for it every week, and he just says no, and then I ask for it the next week, and he just says no. So finally, whenever it's offered, I'm just not interested. And that's where I'm at right now. With Kofi Kingston, like I'm just not interested. I wanted it and I wanted it and I wanted it, and now I'm just indifferent.
No, I'm not even that bad. No, I'm not even that bad. I want to see the match. Okay,
The match
I
will
want
be
to see
okay.
the match will be more than okay. I think
the match is going to be amazing. First of all, but
most of these matches that you guys are pissed off about are going to be amazing.
True. I mean, they are going to be some good matches now. I can't wait to take pictures and video of everyone's reaction when whatever happens in that match.
Please do.
I can't wait. That's what actually I'm looking forward to that more than the outcome of the match.
Because I'm going to look high.
Great. Just put that out there. Like, you know,
He's just gonna be sleepy. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, right. I was about to say, just lock the door so
7
you can't
hours
leave.
of WrestleMania.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna say that back in November or December, everybody bitched because they thought that Becky Lynch wasn't gonna get the title match, and then everybody bitched.
Those were marked.
No, that was in this room,
No,
motherfucker. Yes, everybody in this room thought that Becky was not going to get the title match.
I'm gonna listen back because I don't believe
I don't believe
Maybe not you.
Yeah, okay. If you want to play the tapes, let's go back. We got 100 episodes, brother. Don't put yourself out there like that.
Everybody bitches about everything all the time with WWE, and then when it comes true, they're like, "Well, I'm still pissed off." Can you imagine? Can you imagine if somebody would have said to you a year ago that we might have the Revival versus Aleister Black and Ricochet at WrestleMania, even on the pre-show, as a 12-minute match? You guys would be like, "Nope, never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. This is gonna fuck them over. Fuck Vince."
No, well, I mean,
Yeah, I know. And then it's
Here-
probably actually gonna happen.
Here's the thing. Do you remember whenever AJ and Nakamura faced off at Money in the Bank, whenever they were both standing on each side of the ladder and the whole crowd popped and we're like, oh my God, we might actually get AJ versus Nak like we had back in Wrestle Kingdom. And then we got it like 7 times and none of them were good. Like, that's the problem. It's just that they fuck up the execution. Like, you can have...
No.
Wow, really?
I disagree completely. Because
Unbelievable.
because all it takes is for you guys build it up so much in your head that you guys want 7 stars every time, and then when it's just kind of lackluster, like you guys are like, well then it's over. Well then it might as well have never happened. I wish it never would have happened. Nakamura versus AJ.
Me too.
When really it was.
Yeah, hang on.
You guys really wish it never would have happened?
No, I wish it never would have happened. It fucked it all. Thank you. That was the centerpiece of
Wait,
the
so
whole
That's the
story.
only thing I remember.
No
about it.
blow. Thank
Wait,
you.
I-
No blow
Which,
after low blow.
unfortunately,
I
that's all I remember.
was talking in the Mark's voice there, but you guys agreed with it. That's
Yeah.
what you guys actually think.
I
Is
would
it you wish it never would have happened?
They
At least
dropped the ball so many times.
go
And the
back
fact-
and watch it.
And go back and
go back
listen.
and watch
How
it.
many times? Don't act like because you're in WrestleMania mode. Don't act like you weren't bitching about the same things we were bitching too. In November,
Of course,
you
I'm in
were okay.
WrestleMania mode.
You
But
were
you guys-
bitching the same thing too. Don't act all high and mighty now because you're in WrestleMania mode, okay, man? You were
High
bitching
and
about the same.
mighty?
Yeah. I keep consistent.
I'm the
Now all of a
corporate
sudden,
motherfucker.
now all of a sudden, you're like, oh, you guys are looking for 7, 8-star matches. No, I'm just looking for shit that makes fucking sense. And a lot of this shit doesn't even make
When's
fucking
the
sense.
last time something made sense to you on WWE?
You're making my point, man.
I'm making your point, so nothing makes sense.
A lot of it doesn't make sense. What was the one count? Why is Charlotte the SmackDown champion? Why are we
That
doing this
makes
to
sense
Asuka?
Because she deserves to be.
That makes sense to me.
Okay.
There's some stuff that does.
You
but a lot
could
of
have
times
did
it doesn't.
this in January and had her do a nice little run and build it up like that
Do you think
instead of just having Asuka.
Do you
If you're gonna just put Asuka like that, just have her in the background.
do you think that Charlotte does not deserve to be in the main event?
I'm not saying that.
love
This
Charlotte.
is a different issue. She doesn't
Thank you, man.
need the title to be in the main event. She has all these other accolades.
Would you
Just
rather,
roll off to that.
would you rather have Asuka face a nobody or have the-
Nikki Cross is a great match.
That would
You
be a
had
great
months to do it and you didn't do it.
It would be a great match.
Okay.
It would be a
Okay.
great match. No,
Defense
you,
rest.
You didn't let me finish the fucking sentence.
Nope,
though,
so
sir.
don't.
It would be a great match in NXT. It's
It
not
was.
going to be.
It was.
I
Yeah,
know,
it was.
so it's not going to be a great match at WrestleMania.
Wow.
So we'd rather than put the belt on Charlotte to add some prestige to the
You
first
don't need it.
women's main event
You
at
don't
WrestleMania ever.
need it.
Can I offer up
Disagree.
Exhibit
You
A
don't
of
need it.
when they did something that made sense? Mustafa Ali's little run here was perfect until he got injured,
I agree.
and
And then they glommed it onto Kofi, and it's still perfect.
yeah. So last few weeks have been a little
Overbooked.
rough. But Ali,
You said it on the way over here. He should have won 2 weeks ago. You had this week to build it up, and then you had another week for the go home show. And now all of a sudden you're rolling your eyes.
Yeah, it's kind of overbooked, but like, isn't
Okay.
it better than the opposite? Isn't it better than the opposite? Of
So,
having Kofi knock
when I
over
say
and
it's
over?
overbooked, you roll your eyes. When you say it, it's okay.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm
Okay.
saying, of course, it's kind of overbooked, but you're pissed off that you're putting the whole system on trial, man.
It's the WWE. What do you want?
I'm saying I like that Kofi's getting a WrestleMania chance.
Okay, that's great.
I just want you to say that.
I'm happy that Kofi's getting a WrestleMania
Nah,
chance.
you didn't put your heart into it.
Well, shit. Look, you ain't Shane McMahon. You ain't
That's
doing
gonna
this shit.
do it for our 3 count. Tell us about F&B Eatery. We only got like 10 minutes left.
Gee, shocker. F&B Eatery on 3453 Southampton.
Best burgers in town, guys.
Best burgers in town. I was going to say shout out to my boy Kenny Hunter, putting it on the Band from Ringside Facebook page. He is the latest to be converted from the non-believers into the believer side. So if you want to be converted, shuffle yourself on down to 3453 Southampton Boulevard, part of our Southampton Mafia. F&B Eatery, tell them Bam from Ringside sent you.
Right here. All right, we got some odds and ends to get to. I think the Miz Shane build has been pretty good. Are you guys anti or pro the Miz Shane build?
I'm indifferent with it. I don't.
Look,
It's the Shane match, like it's a
Thing-
Triple H match.
thing
It's part of WrestleMania.
Don't you think it's good how they've made Miz a face
and then he beat
so
up
quickly,
everybody
or
on the roster.
as soon as he's resonated as a face, he beat up Sanity, man.
Yeah, I mean, when you beat up somebody's dad, it's easy to be sympathetic to that cause.
Man,
I mean,
fuck Mrs. Dad.
he is a potato head looking motherfucker. Sorry, Mr.
I love
Bennett.
that the
Come
thing
on
that
down to the
enraged the Miz the most this week was whenever Shane said that his consumption was a mistake.
No, he said the biggest mistake was when your dad impregnated your mom, and Miz got very mad.
Yes.
Which
I would have laughed my ass off.
And that's whenever he flipped his lid. That was the moment.
Good
Yeah.
one,
I mean,
Shane.
if my dad had not impregnated my mom, I wouldn't be here to yell at Jason.
And I wouldn't be here listening to it in bold.
I'm pretty sure Shane got that line from one of his children. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Oh, damn.
We have McIntyre
Just
versus
gonna put that out there.
Roman, and say what you will about how excited you are about WrestleMania this year, but McIntyre versus Roman is a big match for McIntyre, and they have made him look strong for 3 Raws in a row. 3 Raws in a row. He has stood tall at the end of Raw. They are making him look strong as fuck to lose to Roman.
I like that match.
All roads lead to Roman.
I like that match.
Even though there's
No,
not,
it should be a good match.
yeah, there's not a massive build, but I like
There's not a massive
McIntyre a
build
lot.
for most things. On this
touche,
card.
touche.
Yeah.
But I love McIntyre, and like you said, putting him with Roman, whether we like Roman or not, as far as his
No, it will give him the rub.
yeah,
And I guess
Absolutely.
Everything
ultimately-
there is a massive build for, everybody has a problem with how long the build took.
The Shane
So
Miz
this-
build makes sense. It absolutely makes sense.
That's the only one, though.
I'm
Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, everybody's pissed off about how long the build
It
took.
did
Me
cool down
too.
a
I'm
little
fine
bit.
with the length. It's just you don't have to do so many angles in between.
No, they should take them off TV for a couple
Yeah,
weeks.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's
I
what,
would-
that's
we
what
could
I
agree.
think.
Yeah,
That's-
I could agree.
Okay, cool. All right. We're on the same page there.
Whoa!
Rey Mysterio and his large adult son.
Jeez,
His large adult son is back on TV.
that makes huge. Or just race just that small.
what do you think, Bill? The Kurt Angle matches hurt me, and as the biggest Kurt Angle fan I know, I just want to see your take.
I thought that I'm a huge Kurt Angle mark. I was glad to see during the Kurt Angle AJ match on Thursday that AJ just came out and took a RKO. I thought that was the best use for Angle. Angle trying to do the Angle Slam or the Olympic Slam to Orton looked pretty sad.
I feel real bad because he actually said he's like, I'm doing this sober, and that's what it is. He's not all pilled up.
Yeah, and it's
he's
almost like,
hurting.
hey, dude, you need to have a couple of drinks.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, I had needed to have a drink watching this, man. This is hard.
This shit don't look very good.
Not at all.
I love Angle. I'm glad that the last one will be at WrestleMania. He's had a great career. I hope that he puts over Baron Corbin
in like 30 seconds.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have our
So
big.
much I can say right there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Jason Jordan.
So Oscar can't get 30 seconds.
Over Kurt Angle? No.
Yeah, that'd be a. I would
mean,
have watched that in his prime.
Come on, man. I would much rather. I don't even want to see Kurt Angle go out there and embarrass himself at this point.
I mean, if it
I
really is,
would not
if
wanna
it
watch
really
that.
is his last match, I mean, which I have to believe really could be because he's just
he does not look
he's
good.
a stiff board of pain at this point, you know, especially that he's sober. And maybe he'll fucking just go all out for one last night. I don't.
That's the scary part.
I know,
Kurt
I
Angle
know,
going all
I know.
out could kill him.
I don't
Exactly.
know if
So
he
I'm
can.
kind of terrified of it, but you know, yeah. But at the same time, I fucking love him, and it's like what I was an Undertaker mark. Don't get me wrong, but I was over him doing his thing years ago.
He looks like Undertaker a couple years ago.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
He looks bad.
Yeah, and it's like I would rather see him go out at his best, where he went out, than to see him do it again. It's not. It doesn't
I don't need
justify
this
anything.
farewell tour like
Right.
the NBA. Just give me the one match. Just save him up for Corbin. Let him go all out. And
It's a
whatever happens,
rare
happens.
case though where he's signed with the company. He's a face in the company where people see him all the time, and he's allowed to have this farewell tour.
Apparently,
I also agree that it doesn't look very good. I hope that he doesn't put Baron Corbin over because you have to go out on your back. Like that's the rule, right? Like,
Yeah.
you have to go out on your back.
Corbin should win this match as much as I can't even believe I'm even saying this.
As long as
I-
you're going
I
to push
should
him
win this
after.
I can't wait till our predictions next
Oh,
week.
You know what I mean?
apparently he got to pick all of those other matches. He did not get to pick his WrestleMania match. But that's why he's doing all these other matches.
If he's going to
Yeah.
put Baron Corbin over, the only reason that makes
Then
sense
he
to
needs
me,
he needs to get
the
a push from that point on. And
Because
if he
it's the
doesn't, then
only
there's the
reason to
problem
do it
all
that
over
way.
again.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
Baron
Right,
Corbin's
like-
been pushed for the last fucking year.
I know, but a
No, but you
legitimate
can start.
push.
You can
Put him
read
back
by
in-
at any point.
Put him back in his tights and let him wrestle
He'll
again.
feud with Roman
Oh,
again.
Real quick survey right here. Just answer yes or no. If you could redo it all over again, would you have Brock Lesnar snap the Undertaker streak?
Yeah.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Well, I mean,
Hard for me to say.
No, we have a
I wasn't
yes and we have a
watching that.
no, and then we have a.
I can't give an educated opinion because I wasn't watching. at
I'd
that
say
time.
yes.
I was happy to see it over at that point, and Brock was the only one at the time that seemed legitimate enough to beat the shit
You thought
out
it
of
should
that
have
old
happened
man.
sooner. That's
Oh, I mean,
Bray Wyatt is
Yeah.
perfect.
yeah, no, I agree with
His,
that too.
his trajectory totally changes.
I totally agree.
He becomes more special.
all
I
right.
agree.
Couple more things. WrestleMania to me is shaping up like a real WrestleMania, like with Elias being the musical guest and shit like
It's
that.
got to be
like
better than
that,
Flo Rida.
Oh,
Ouch!
it seems like they have the shit together going into this one.
I would say the opposite. But okay.
Oh, really?
they're gonna be
We
right
got, we
at the
got,
day
we got
of the
one
show.
more. We got
so.
one. Yeah, I was gonna say we got one more
Oh,
show. Before.
We are so anticlimactic.
I didn't see.
Thank you, fellas.
That's great.
Oh yeah,
Hunter
we're gonna
versus
break
Batista. Who? Now I'm not going to ask you who wins, but any thoughts about it?
It's Triple H versus Lesnar 6 years ago, same time, same place,
Any
same
thoughts?
stipulation.
What was it?
Hunter versus.
Oh, Batista. I'm into it.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I'll tell you what you want, what you really, really want. I really, really, really
Okay,
want.
yeah, I'll just answer it.
The Hart Foundation is going into the Hall of Fame.
What long overdue,
Yeah, I'm
goddammit.
into it.
Long overdue. I was about to say, God forbid it took Anvil passing away, RIP, but this should have been done a while ago.
By the way, Shawn Michaels said that China should get inducted by herself. Just gonna put that out there.
Right here, Rich.
No problem with that.
Okay, we got a bunch of birthdays this week. Mr. Perfect is 61. R.I.P. Umaga is 46. R.I.P. Mustafa Ali is 33. Michael P.S. Hayes. I'm
That's
pretty sure
Ali.
P.S. stands
The
for
Mustafa
a piece of
Farms
shit.
Yeah.
Michael P.S. Hayes
Yeah.
is 60. Mike Rotunda, a.k.a. IRS, a.k.a. Bo Dallas, and Bray Wyatt's dad is 61. Trent Beretta from the world famous Dude Busters is 32. RKO is 39. That means he's younger than me. Scorpio Sky is 36. And Lance Storm is 50. Hey, everybody. We know there's tons of podcasts to listen to. So we appreciate you guys listening to ours. For Shock City Studios, for
Check.
Ebony Eatery, for
Check.
JJ Twigs on Southampton,
Check.
for Soul Taco,
Check.
for Murray the Murray Man Murray, for
Check.
Two Beer Zach Bowman,
Check.
for Rich Harris,
Check.
for Jason Cornelius Bella.
Check.
I am Bill Vagan.
Snappy
Everybody
easy.
boo the heel. That's even better.
There it is. That's the way to end the 100th episode. I always want to say just leave it
That's
like
100.
that. I always want to
Fireworks
say
and
just
shit.
leave it like that.
We need to bring the WWE pyro back for that one.
No, that's cool.
Rich, you can add it, man. It's fine. I got to fuck with you.